Yeah.
Oh, we're live. We're live. Okay, so if everybody's like, why is Marisa going live with Tyana? You didn't even give us any heads up. Welcome. It's International Women's Day. And we were in the workroom, and Tyana was really proud. She pew pew pewed at Dove. And we started talking about what was happening in a video, and maybe I'll just do you want me to do a little bit of an intro so people know what we're talking about?
Absolutely. Good fun.
What if beauty stopped being an ugly word, used to discriminate, distort, and disillusion?
Wait. Did they just say, what if beauty stopped being an ugly word? Is that what they just said?
Yes.
Talk to me. Talk to me while I process this.
So I just happened to open Instagram at the right time, and I came across this video not because I'm following Dove, but because somebody I'm following reposted the video. And no, I'm working. Sorry, got small people in.
Yeah.
No, baby, you gotta go. You need a pencil sharpener? Sorry, we have an emergency. We need a pencil sharpener.
I mean, this is real life. This is what being an international woman is like at any given moment.
Exactly. International women have interruptions because of international children in their lives.
But apparently also we're supposed to say that beauty is a ugly word.
Yeah. So beauty somehow is an ugly word. That's like sort of where we're starting from, which I find just really, is that why we're starting? Like, there are so many places to start in this conversation, and I'm with an organization that has so many resources. It is amazing to me that this is the point where they have decided that we should start by pulling this out of the sky. Just come with me, because lots of words are actually being used in violent ways. And the truth is, beauty is a word that is used in a violent way. Is it an ugly word? Definitely not an ugly word. So I'm like really confused by this, like, idea that beauty somehow needs to stop being an ugly word, because it's not an ugly word. However, the next point they made, which is, it's a word that's used to essentially oppress, like, that's true. So points for that.
Yeah.
Points for that.
Well, now we should probably just back up here. So they have latched on to the International Women's Day theme, which is break the bias, #break the bias. You're supposed to go on social media and do the break the bias stance to show that you are in fact in support of it's a whole thing. It kind of reminds me of like wrestling, the expat. I was like, yes, I know that move, but apparently it's not wrestling. It is just up here. So I was a little disappointed. However, break the bias. So Dove has said, oh, how can we show that we can break the bias? I know, beauty. What?
And the truth is, like, absolutely, this is a wonderful place to break the bias, because there's a lot of bias around what is considered beautiful and what is not considered beautiful. And I think that that's really great, because they are talking about that in here. But also, like,
why are we still obsessed about what's beautiful? Beauty is something that we assess internally, yet we still have these, you have to be beautiful. And you know me, you know how much I hate when people are like, you're beautiful. I'm like, I don't have to be.
Yeah, it's really like a silencing tactic. It's just like, like, who cares about what's inside, because you're beautiful on the outside. Look at your nose. But also, like, then it's like, if you don't have that external beauty, that like, beauty with all the big quotation marks in the air. If you don't have that external beauty, then we start to say things like, "Oh no, but you're beautiful on the inside. Look at how you care about people. You're such a lovely soul." And it's just like, why? Like, come on. Like,
there is
beauty
more to
somehow-
me than my beauty, like whether I'm beautiful or not. I have spent my entire life asking people to just give me one thing that isn't some sort of like patronizing, "Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're pretty in your own way," or whatever all these little things that people say. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care. I don't care.
No, I mean, and it really is patronizing because it's like it's just another way to just kind of like give you another rubric to live up to. You know, it's just like, "Oh, but you're beautiful in your own way," and it's just like, I wasn't talking about beauty. I wasn't trying to be beautiful. I sort of don't care much about that. But like, you've now put that on me, and because I'm a young person who's impressionable, now I feel like I have to perform beauty for you because you've just told me that that's something that gives me value, and like that's part of the problem. And so like Dove is talking about that here.
Let's go back. Let's watch
Let's
a little
go
bit
back.
more.
Yeah.
Let's watch a little bit more here.
Instead became an action to end discrimination, smash stereotypes, and break the bias.
Smash.
What if we raise the self-esteem of one young person and then 250 million more?
Okay, wait. They are saying, what if we raise the self-esteem by telling everyone they're beautiful? Is that what self-esteem is? Is this it? Is this the cornerstone of whether I'm going to have self-esteem or not? Is whether my face is accepted as beautiful?
The answer is yes, if the cornerstone of acceptance and the measure of worth is beauty.
I don't want
So
it.
if society says that beauty is the thing that makes you valuable, then being told that you are beautiful is also being told that you are valuable. So like this is the equivalent, like sort of, I mean, I don't disagree with everything that they're saying because on the surface, what they're saying, yes, absolutely, let's totally do this. But like, it's what's underneath that I'm really concerned about because this is folks who are watching what is called virtue signaling. Virtue signaling is when you use the good words that are being used in the social justice circles, in the abolitionist circles, in the circles about like, let's go do liberation. Like that is like virtue signaling because what you're doing is you're going, I know the words. I know all the good words. I can use them in a sentence cohesively, coherently. It's great. But when that's not actually followed up by anything, or like you're not actually living that life that way, like you're not practicing what you preach, you're not walking your talk, it's virtue signaling. You're just saying like, look at me, I'm a good person. I put on the t-shirt that said the things. And then you go home and you take off the t-shirt and you're still your same, dude, the oppressor, the rest of their day. So the fact of the matter is that like, the words are good. The words are good. And it's just like this is the thing that's really difficult here is because you have to kind of like really look at what they're doing critically for the simple fact that like they have this wonderful video. It's got this wonderful like I was gonna say menagerie, maybe that is the word I'm using. Menagerie of images of, feminine presenting people who they're assuming to tell us are women and girls. So we don't know how they identify themselves, but that's what Dove is telling us. These are women and girls. Mm-hmm. With like, soothing music and then like a very like firm yet not too pushy voiceover, and it's just kind of like there's a lot here. There's a lot here to dissect, and there's a lot of underlying messages that you're just being fed. And, if you don't know any better, you're just like, yes, pump the fist. Because when I saw this on Instagram and I checked out the actual post on Dove, like people are posting like, oh my God, this is so good. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm just like, is this exactly what talking about?
Like they
Because
show
that's
these
not,
examples. They show these examples of people just living their best lives, and they're like, it doesn't matter what you look like. You're beautiful, which is implying that they're not, or that people are judging them for whatever scars. So it's like, Dove, you're literally just telling me that I'm ugly, but it's okay because when you buy our soap, you'll be beautiful.
yeah. Yeah, this is the same company that co-opted body positivity by giving us people dancing in their underwear
Right.
in the commercial, like, and there was like a big giant air quotes fat person, like she was sort of chunky, like her body didn't look like mine.
It looked like
And
mine.
yeah, exactly. And so like this is like ooh, so groundbreaking.
Edgy.
But also the thing that was really fun was then they sold you body wash that came in different shaped bottles. And it was like, okay, so I'm supposed to feel better about myself as I wash my fat ass
Yeah.
from a body wash container that somehow resembles my fat ass. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Because we know that like fat bottomed bottles make the world go round.
Yes. And I mean, this is the thing, is like corporations are never on our side. They are never on our side.
Oh, well, they're on the side that our wallet is. So if you have
Absolutely.
it on, in a pocket or in a bag, whatever that side is, your corporations are right there for you.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, here's the thing. No shame and no shade to anybody who did buy those bottles of body wash going, I feel seen. If you felt seen by that, take it. Take it.
Yeah,
Because good for you. Because the truth of the matter is that like it's a drop in the bucket, but it is a drop in the bucket in the right direction. It's just sort of really cynical, like the practice of it. But the fact is, like, like I love the fact that corporations are like body positivity and let's show models that aren't completely and totally rib cage skinny. Great, this is going the correct direction. However, like as we see in this video, there aren't really any ugly people in this
Let's
video.
go look. Let's go see if we can find somebody that might be,
What if we showed the media
Okay.
a more inclusive vision of beauty?
Okay,
and defined
notice
it
that we
on our
have-
own terms.
they said inclusive vision of beauty. So they did their due part, and they made sure that they had a whole bunch of people of color in a
Yeah.
montage.
They even had an albino person.
What if we
of
reversed
color.
the damage of retouching apps and young people felt confident with no digital distortion?
Okay,
What if we
let's talk about digital distortion and what's wrong, what's right. Why are we so concerned if I pop on a filter?
So yeah, there's a big challenge here because of course there are people on one side who are saying things like putting on that filter makes me feel really good, like it makes me look great, like ooh, it like gave me lipstick and eyelashes and stuff, and like I've tried that filter, it was really fun.
Yeah.
But the real problem right now is that there are studies that are happening that are showing that girls who are like in their preteens, so like 11 to 13 years of age, are seeing these images, not understanding that they have been altered digitally and are measuring themselves against them.
Mhm.
And so like we have a huge epidemic, like we hear in the media about like the obesity epidemic, and like, oh god, everybody's getting fat. But the fact is, what we really need to be worried about is not the fact that people are getting fat. Like that's something else entirely. Like why is that even a concern? The real concern is the fact that like by the age of like 11, 60% of girls are either wanting to diet or dieting. Like that's a real problem. That's a real problem because like these are children.
Yeah.
Children who are like why are they concerned about how their bodies look? like at this point in their lives. And the thing is that dieting has been proven to really mess with your like natural hormone regulation.
Yeah.
It messes with your hunger and fullness cues. It really distorts your body image, like how you see yourself.
Yeah.
And like these are things that are not just drops in the bucket. They don't just happen just here in this one window of time while you're dieting. These things have effects going on and on and on throughout life. And so what we are seeing, the studies are bearing out that all of these like comorbidities, all of these things that are attributed to fat bodies, like because you have a fat body, you're going to be diabetic. Because you have a fat body, you're going to be, you're going to have cardiovascular issues. Because you have a fat body, all of these other things. Like the fact is, like what we are actually seeing is it's not the weight itself. It is the history of weight cycling, which is basically I go on a diet, I lose weight, I stop doing that really restrictive thing, and I gain the weight back again. And generally what happens is the body's like, oh no, we were starving. And the body's like now driving up your need to like store fat and store energy. And so you're going to gain more weight, which makes you, you know, in this world of diet culture go, uh-oh, I need to do that diet again. So I'm going to go resubscribe to my Weight Watchers and start going to meetings again, which means you're going to drop weight again. And then you're going to, at some point, not be able to continue to restrict that way because things happened also. Yeah. Biology is not on your side. Yeah. So you're going to gain the weight again. And this is weight cycling. When we lose the weight, gain the weight, lose the weight, gain the weight, lose the weight, gain the weight. And that's actually the thing that's really messing with our bodies and causing down the way, number one, generally higher weights. And number two, all of these things that supposedly are because of the weight. So you're much better off being a slightly chunky person and just letting yourself be a slightly chunky person than like being a slightly chunky person and trying to get that little bit of chunk off, because that's actually going to mess up your whole system going forward. And so if you're starting this practice at the age of 11, I mean, like when your hormones
I'm 43
themselves out.
I'm 43. And what was it? 2 months ago, I messaged you and I was like, I have felt hunger for the first time in maybe 30 years. Like I couldn't, it hurt. I was like, what is this? I don't even know what this feels like. I messaged you and you're like, yeah, hunger, totally normal thing.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I had no idea. Like I had no idea that my up and down, like was actually impairing my body from being a body.
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's exactly what we're teaching people, you know, with like the fear of becoming fat or fatter, also reinforced in a lot of different ways, but basically being afraid to be fat because of the, you know, supposedly connected illnesses that you're going to have the rest of your life, or like the fact that you might die early. I'm just like, come on, none of us are born on this planet with like a guaranteed 92 years. This is silliness. But the fact of the matter is like, you know, there's just a lot of things at play here, but we're that's like this whole system is just working toward creating children who are afraid of themselves and their bodies. And like your body has been with you since the beginning and it will be with you till the end. This is the one thing you need to not be afraid of. And it's one thing you need to like,
say it again.
Your body is the one thing that you need to not be afraid of. And it's just like, it's the one thing in your life that you can count on 100%. Like, okay, maybe it's not performing the way you want it to. It's not doing the things you want it to do, but it's still going to do the things it can to continue making sure that you survive. And like, you got to be in partnership with that person, with that entity. You have to be in partnership because that's the only entity in your world who's down for you like that.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the video here. Let's see what else we got here.
Let's do it.
Changed the law to end hair discrimination, and everyone was free to wear their hair naturally.
Do we need to talk about this?
I'm just angry. I mean, it's a good point. We definitely need to end hair discrimination, but I promise you right now, Dove does not make a hair product for me.
Thank you. I was
so,
they
like, I mean,
they don't even have a product for me, which is like I can't wash my hair with Dove products because well, there's autism. Like it's just there's a thing. I don't have a shampoo there that helps me either.
yeah. So it's just like, I mean, I love just the audacity of a corporation that has like some responsibility for the fact that as a society we are obsessed with beauty. We are obsessed with thinness.
Yep.
We are obsessed with these things. This corporation has something to do with that. Like, and they're proposing like to fix it when they still haven't yet
when they're
done
an active
really basic
partner
things.
in the maintenance of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, on one hand it's going, I'm here to liberate you. And on the other hand, they're like, no, I'm just going to keep putting links on your chain, and this doesn't work. This doesn't work.
Okay. Let's see what else they got.
Without barriers and judgment. What if we stop society from putting beauty to the test and celebrated?
Oh, wait. What's that? Wait, I have to rewind this a bit. What's happening here?
We stopped society from putting beauty to the test and celebrated all definitions of beauty.
Okay. All definitions of beauty. Don't worry. All of them. We got it. Beauty. It's all about beauty.
Again, yeah. I mean, and I'm not really about like, I don't know. If you find beauty useful, use it. Absolutely. We don't have to toss all the things on the fire. But
on International Women's Day, on hashtag break the bias, they have chosen beauty.
Yeah.
To celebrate women breaking the bias. I mean, okay, I guess we're breaking the bias of beauty.
But I still have not yet in this video seen someone who just like looks like they just woke up on the street, because they have no house. Like I haven't seen anybody in this video. They're all made up. They're all dressing nicely.
Yeah.
Like this person here behind all definitions of beauty.
Yeah.
Like the way this is framed makes me think that they're trying to say like this person is not what we would call beautiful,
Exactly.
which upsets me because like
absolutely
there's nothing wrong with this person's face.
Gorgeous.
Like, okay, the teeth aren't like Hollywood perfect. Her face is a little bit round. Like, but besides that, like, this is a wonderful looking person who, like, is like, looks able-bodied. I mean,
that's a whole other thing because we didn't
yeah.
I don't think
But
there was
too. Have you seen anybody?
What if we could break the bias and make this
I think
world
we just saw
a reality?
this lady with the scar in her.
Together, we can. On International Women's Day and every day after, join us. Let's break the bias.
So what they did was they had a huge checklist and they said, okay, what are all the things that we find ugly? You know what I find ugly? Birthmarks on face. Let's get that one.
Big, giant one.
We only put so many people in this little 1 minute, 45 seconds. So if we can get somebody who is maybe a person of color who also has a birthmark on their face, can we do that? Because then we can combine
a person of color who's chunky and wearing an unconventional hairstyle.
Like they should have maybe also made sure she was in a wheelchair or some other visible disability that we can identify.
Absolutely.
Because we only have 1 minute and 45 seconds. What do you want us to do? We must capture all of the angles of what we think are not beautiful. And like you said before, like the scar in the armpit. Like, how many times does anyone ever see my armpit? I will tell you, I wear sweaters even to the beach. Nobody is seeing my armpit, and there's sensory things out there for that reason. But like, even if I like to stretch in public with a tank top, no one's going to be like, you are a pariah of society with that scar in your armpit. Get out of here. You don't deserve to be here.
I mean, in my point of view and my experience, and from the things that I've heard out here in the street, most of the time when you see a scar like that, you go, oh, you're a survivor. Good for you. You know, and you want to like give somebody a high five and a hug. You know,
Yeah.
like pink ribbon. I got it
Yeah.
all the time. You know, like that's not something. I mean, yes, I agree. Like scars are considered something that is unsightly and ugly, but a scar like that is a significant kind of scar which we have made. And I mean, in some ways, I agree with it, but it is sort of a badge of honor and like it means that you've survived something.
Yeah. So my
And I think that's
responsibility is ugly. Is we're not going to say that's ugly. I'm going to
No.
say, what was the healing like in your armpit
Yeah.
on that
Oh, yeah.
stab?
Oh yeah. So I mean they mean well. They mean so well.
Do they? So let's have this conversation. Do corporations actually mean well by co-opting these feel-good diversity, inclusivity, like you said, virtue signaling? Do they actually mean well? Go.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm going to start with yes, but
Okay.
I think they mean well because they're like, ooh, trend, follow it, which I think is great. Let's all follow the trend toward liberation and not make it a trend. I mean, it's not a trend; it's a fucking movement. Let's continue it as a movement and continue moving that direction. However, it needs to be backed up by something. Because we haven't gotten to the best part. The best part of all of this is the fact that I'm like, okay, so you just gave me a video. It's like, 1 minute, 6 seconds, 1 minute, 45 seconds, something like that. It's less than 2 minutes long.
Mhm.
That's not a lot of time or life or whatever. And I'm sure a lot went into making it because I produce videos for my own stuff and it's not the simplest thing to do.
Right.
It's a bit time consuming. However, all of that, they did work. That's great. They're a huge corporation. They have lots of money, lots of resources, lots of personnel. They have bodies that can make that happen. Fantastic. But the fact is, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Because like we cited earlier, we are two people, two international women-ish type people out here in this world. And both of us are saying Dove doesn't work for me. So this is an amazingly teeny sample size, which, that's negligible. However, what is Dove actually doing? Like, what is Dove actually proposing that we do because they're saying here, this is an invitation, join us. Let us break the cycle, because Dove is basically saying break the bias. Dove is saying we are doing something to break the bias. We made this here 2-minute video, but also we're doing something. So if you find their Instagram page where they've posted this video,
Bring it up.
what they are actually proposing is, let's see. You're gonna raise self-esteem in the next generation through the hashtag Dove Self-Esteem Project. I don't know what that is, but I looked up the hashtag Dove Self-Esteem Project, and what I saw was just a lot of people posting on Instagram. Look, there's a fat dancing lady. That's awesome. I appreciate that. But it's just like, it's just, pretty photos of people, like, filter, no filter, I guess, sort of things. It's like, oh, there's somebody who is visibly disabled, which is cool. I appreciate that. But I'm just like, okay, like, Dove, what are you doing? Because Dove's not posting these images. Dove didn't make these images. You know, show the media a more inclusive vision of beauty with project #show us. Like, is Dove doing that? Is Dove?
So here's
is
what I think. If they had just done it, like if they had just started putting different bodies in and didn't attach a movement or point out that they had done it, I would be a little bit more into their thing, because I'd be like, oh, look at this. It's just showing up. They're just showing up. They're not
They're just doing the
celebrating
work.
it. They're not selling on it. They just started changing who they're who they're demonstrating or showing. But they made an entire campaign about it a couple of years ago, like you were saying. And now they're what is this? Yeah, did you say this was no distortion? So this is their new campaign.
Oh, no, the #no digital distortion pledge. So then again, so that's another one. You Instagram user, stop using filters. Stop using filters. Don't Facetune. Don't Photoshop your stuff anymore.
Okay.
And I'm just like, and then they also have help end race-based hair discrimination by signing the @ Crown Act petition. And I haven't looked at this petition. I will be honest. I didn't do my due diligence here. I'm sorry?
Is this in their short links?
No, it's in the caption, the caption alongside the actual post. So the first post down there.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, these are the things that they're suggesting that we join them in. Yet, like, all I've seen here is we are doing things. Dove themselves are not doing anything. And I find that really amusing because like Dove is saying, join us, let's do it together. Yet I still don't really see what Dove has done besides gather resources, which I appreciate. Somebody does have to do that work. But the fact of the matter is that Dove is a gigantic corporation worth millions of dollars, got gigantic amounts of profit, and they're not doing anything. They're just gathering resources. Now, if you're a chronically ill person or a disabled person or somebody who has like lots of things going on in your life where you don't have access to or capacity to go out and like petition things and like be in the street protesting, this is something you absolutely can do and is so helpful with all of the movements that you care about. However, millions of dollars, maybe even billions, I don't know, but a corporation with so many resources should be doing a lot more than just gathering resources. This is piss poor.
And I said this earlier, we picked this background because it's very femtaculous. But also because I said to Tiana, if we don't agree, we can always flip the bird on Dove, right? We can kind of give them this, because I think, I mean, on one side, we've had conversations about this, you and I, about like, you know, do we want to, you know, crap on every movement? Like, at least do something. But I think for me, and this started, I'll just say, with McDonald's Happy Meal Day. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Happy Meal Day, but it's buy from us so that we can donate.
Yeah.
Buy from us so that we can take some of those dollars and give it to, give a portion, a very tiny portion of it. So in this case too, we see Dove, basically it's like, when you buy from us, you're saying that you're saying no to distortion, digital distortion. We're saying, which, I mean, as a whole, okay, we could go down the rabbit hole of like the words digital distortion. Anyways, that's a whole other probably topic. When you buy from us, you help us create more campaigns like this, where we point out images of perfectly happy people living their best lives and telling people that you should think these people are beautiful. And if you don't think these people are beautiful, you're horrible people. So buy from us so that we can keep making these campaigns that point out people we think are ugly and calling them beautiful.
Yeah, there's definitely that. There's definitely that. And I mean, the thing is, like, look, I think this is a wonderful step in a correct direction. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, if corporations would actually believe in liberatory things and actually do work in liberatory ways, yes, yes, the world would certainly be going in a
Do it
direction.
without selling it. It
Oh,
should not
yeah.
be a marketing campaign.
This is true. This is absolutely true. But the fact of the matter is that, like, like, I am pointing out what's going on here simply because, like, this is not just some small business, like, trying to have a marketing campaign because they have products that, women and women associated folk would enjoy. This is not that kind of thing. This is a corporation with just gobs of research resources behind them, and research as well, that is just giving us pretty words and pretty pictures, and then saying, hashtag break the bias. And it's just like, it's not enough, because, like, in the end, every step in the better direction, in the liberatory direction, is a good step. However, like, we have to also measure things according to, like, what is the best way to measure them. And it's not a great way to say that, but, like, independent creator, independent person, you single individual who lives a life and has, like, finite resources, you only have so much you can do. And so whatever you can do, however you can be an activist, whatever that looks like for you, I celebrate it, and I want you to make that happen. But people who have more resources because they have, like,
because they're a major corporation.
basically, but, like, just like, basically, like, small resources, small contribution should be required. Big resources, big contribution should be required. Is that contribution financial? Is it personnel? Is it time? Is it the platform? Whatever. But basically, like, you gotta give according to what you have. And this is the equivalent of, like, like, they've given, like, a drop in the bucket. It's like, okay, let's give 1% of sales in, Rwanda on this day to this organization. And it's like, really? That's all you can muster? That's not okay. Because I know that there are people out here who are, just, like, living under multiple axes of oppression because of, like, how they identify and what kind of body they live in. And they are, like, giving their last cent, their last breath, their last crumb to the movement because they're working to save their own lives, and the lives of people that are like them and that people they care about. And then we have corporations going, here's this 2-minute video.
So I do have good news for you. Well, I don't know if it's good news. Well, it's news. Dove Kids does now have a collection of to boost confidence for those, again, boost confidence for curls, coils, and waves.
When I was a child,
Mhm.
with my curls and my coils and my waves,
Mhm.
I was not ashamed of my hair product. I was ashamed of how people treated me because this is what my hair looks like. So if this hair product somehow is going to change how people perceive curls, coils, and waves, let's do it. But what I know is that ain't it. This is not the way it works. This is not, no, not at all. Not at all. So, but if you go buy these products, good for you. I hope they work. I hope that they really help you, because having curly, coily, wavy hair is work. So, together we can.
Together.
What if beauty stopped
We
being
can.
an ugly word?
So,
used to discriminate.
Here, Deb, if you're listening to this, I just want to rewrite this first line for you. What if we stopped making beauty be an ugly word? What if we stopped making beauty a cornerstone of confidence, self-esteem, and worth? How can you be a part of that conversation? How can you contribute to it without making it a marketing campaign? How can you do it without exploiting bodies and people out there who I know are just excited to be in one of your commercials? Heck, if you came to me and said, you want to be in a commercial and you were paying me to be in there, I'd come in there. You wouldn't, because my body doesn't quite fit your ideal either.
Yeah.
But if you did, I'd probably be out there, but I'd be asking questions, and you probably wouldn't like me so much because I would be in that photo shoot. I'd be like, how about we just show me?
Yeah.
And I'd challenge you. And I know, Tana, you would you if they said, Tina, do you want to be in a commercial with us?
I would have so many questions. I mean, but also, like, no shade, depending on the number.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get my bag. Like, that's the way it works, right? Because in the end, we live under capitalism. I have bills that I need to pay. I have a child that I am raising. Like, I do eat food. And so ultimately what it comes down to is, like, I might need to say yes to that opportunity. Yeah. And so, like, it is what it is. But also, like, it's complicated. It's always complicated. It's never straightforward, and it's never simple. And if you have to go work in finance so that you can support your family, like, do you, but also, like, every single one of us has the power and ability to subvert in some way, shape, or form. And maybe that subversion is that you don't wear anything but pinstripe suits. But ultimately what it comes down to is figure out the thing that you can do to just poke at the power, and show that like you are an individual and you are here for something different. Because as we get our little individuals together, all here for something different, we create movement toward that difference. So I suppose those are my sign-off words.
That's your final thoughts by Tiana Dotson. I love it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this was entertaining to some people. I know some people sat with us for the whole time. This was just something we just, Tiana tried to put out a TikTok and
failed miserably.
The sound, no, you didn't fail. The platform failed you.
Okay? The platform failed me.
It failed you miserably. I was like, Tina, there's no sound. And she's like, I had shots fired. And like, those were the quietest shots I've ever. And then she's like, do you want to just go live? And I was like, I got to go get a sweater, which is my subversion. Drives people nuts that I wear a black sweater all the time. But guess what? I love it so much. It's the best. Yeah, and Deb, if you're watching and you want to know why your shampoo doesn't work for somebody with autism, I'll tell you, at least this person, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on when we talk about these different things, and you want to talk to Tiana about why maybe your marketing could use some help. We're here. We got you. Stop selling. Stop selling. Stop selling. And all corporations. If you think the only reason why you should do a social justice, social equity campaign is so you can market it, it's not the right reason.
No, that's always the wrong reason. That's always the wrong reason.
Go forth and do good things. Bye, everybody.